Welcome to Southwest Desert, where adventure meets the arid beauty of the American Southwest. Join us as we explore the rugged landscapes, uncover hidden historical gems, and dive deep into the rich legends and culture of this iconic region. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our latest desert adventures. Please leave a like or comment. This is very helpful. Let's journey together into the heart of the Southwest Desert. In the sun-baked mountains of West Texas lies a secret that has tantalized treasure hunters for over 140 years. Somewhere in the rugged Eagle Mountains, behind an entrance carefully concealed with Apache ingenuity, rests a fortune in gold bars and coins so vast it would require 50 mules to transport. This is no mere legend passed down through campfire tales. This treasure was seen with human eyes, its location revealed by the daughter of one of the most feared Apache chiefs in American history. And yet, despite decades of searching, the cave and its glittering contents remain hidden, waiting in the darkness of the Chihuahuan Desert. This is the story of Joe Peacock, a 19-year-old stagecoach guard whose capture by Apache warriors in 1859 would lead him to one of the Southwest's greatest hidden treasures, and the story of how that treasure slipped through his fingers, claiming lives and breaking spirits in its wake. The year was 1859, and the Trans-Pecos region of West Texas was a dangerous frontier where stagecoaches carried valuable cargo across vast stretches of hostile territory. These weren't just mail coaches. They transported payrolls and gold, making them tempting targets for both outlaws and indigenous raiders. To support these crucial transportation lifelines, an extensive network of stations dotted the landscape across the Trans-Pecos region. One such stop was Eagle Springs Station, strategically positioned in the northern foothills of the Eagle Mountains. Located 15 miles southwest of what would later become the town of Van Horn and 12 miles northeast of Indian Hot Springs, it was a crucial waypoint in this dangerous territory. The station's position made it both vital and vulnerable, a fact that would soon be proven in blood. On this particular day, the station had just welcomed a coach driven by none other than Bigfoot Wallace, a man whose name would become legendary in Texas history. Wallace, who would later become one of the most renowned Texas Rangers, was already known for his skill and courage on the frontier. Among those aboard was Joe Peacock, a young guard who, despite his tender age of 19, had already proven himself a hardened frontier veteran. Peacock's youth belied his experience. He had already survived multiple skirmishes with both outlaws and Indians, and despite his young age, he had been forced to kill several men in the line of duty. But neither his combat experience nor Wallace's legendary status would prove enough against what was about to emerge from the mountains. Minutes after the stage's arrival, Chief Victorio himself led a force of 20 Mescalero Apache warriors in a lightning raid on the station. Victorio was no ordinary adversary. He was the feared leader of the Mescalero Apaches, known throughout the territory for his tactical brilliance and his intense hatred for white men. The attack was swift and brutal. 2 passengers and a station operator fell to Apache arrows, and in the chaos, young Peacock took an arrow to the leg. Before he could recover, he found himself thrown across a horse's back, a prisoner of one of the most feared Apache leaders in the Southwest. What followed was a grueling journey. The Apache band traveled continuously, day and night without stopping, pushing their horses and captive to the limits of endurance. Their destination was the Tres Castillos Mountains in northern Chihuahua, approximately 20 miles from the Rio Grande. This wasn't a random choice of location. It was a strategic stronghold, carefully selected to be beyond the reach of both Texas Rangers and United States cavalry. Here, in this remote sanctuary, Peacock's remarkable captivity would begin. In an unexpected turn of events, Peacock's wound was treated by a young Apache woman named Juanita, believed to be Victorio's daughter. Her care probably saved his leg, as she determined the wound was not serious and treated it with traditional Apache medicine. While Peacock was initially assigned women's work like gathering firewood, a deliberate humiliation for a warrior, he was gradually granted more freedom of movement within the camp. The Apaches were confident in their security. Escape seemed impossible given their remote location. But it was during these days of captivity that something extraordinary began to unfold. Juanita, in a dramatic departure from traditional Apache customs, began seeking out secret nighttime meetings with the young captive. This behavior was unprecedented. Apache women were typically reserved and formal with outsiders, especially captives. Yet Juanita was bold in her pursuit of a relationship with Peacock, even making direct marriage proposals. Peacock found himself in an incredibly delicate situation. Directly refusing the daughter of a chief known for his hatred of whites could mean death, but accepting would mean abandoning his former life forever. He carefully walked this dangerous line, avoiding direct refusal by expressing concern for his mother back home, all while privately fearing the consequences if his careful diplomacy should fail. It was during these clandestine meetings that Peacock began to learn the true extent of the Apache's wealth. He witnessed the regular transport of smelted gold bars, which the tribe traded in Mexico for weapons and ammunition, particularly rifles, which were crucial for their ongoing raids. He observed tribal artisans creating elaborate golden jewelry, including intricate armlets that reflected the desert sun. But these glimpses of gold were merely a prelude to the greater secret Juanita would eventually reveal. Through their conversation, she told him about a cave that held wealth beyond imagination. Hidden in the Eagle Mountains near the very spot where he'd been captured, lay a natural vault accessible from an old Indian trail that ran between Eagle Springs and Indian Hot Springs. Inside this cave, dozens of gold bars were stacked in a careful criss-cross pattern against the back wall, accompanied by multiple buckskin sacks filled with gold coins and nuggets. The sheer volume of treasure was staggering. Juanita estimated it would require 50 mules to transport it all. The cave's existence had recently been highlighted by a deadly encounter between Victorio's men and soldiers along the old Indian Trail. During a routine gold retrieval operation, 2 soldiers had been killed and 1 Indian wounded in a fierce firefight. This close call had prompted Victorio to order additional security measures. The cave's entrance was concealed with large rocks and debris, carefully matched to the surrounding mountainside with the meticulous attention to detail for which the Apache were famous. Peacock's chance for escape came when Victorio departed on a major raid into Chihuahua, leaving the camp guarded only by women and children. In a dramatic turn of events, Juanita herself decided to aid his escape. She provided him with a horse, a supply of jerked meat, and water stored in a traditional deer gut container. Under cover of darkness, Peacock began a grueling journey across the desert, finally reaching Eagle Springs after several days of hard travel. What followed was a tale of frustration that would span decades. Peacock's initial search for the cave proved maddening. Multiple locations matched Juanita's description, and the Apache's expertise in concealment made the task nearly impossible. Despite feeling tantalizingly close to discovery, practical limitations, running out of supplies, and the need to earn a living forced him to abandon his initial search and return to work on the stage line. Life moved on, as it must. Peacock purchased a small ranch north of the Eagle Mountains while maintaining his stage line job. The demands of making a living left limited time for treasure hunting, though he continued to search whenever possible. He later joined the Texas Rangers, serving under Lieutenants Baylor and North, patrolling for Apache raiders. perhaps hoping his duties might lead him back to the cave or to Juanita. In 1880, history took a dark turn when Chief Victorio met his end on the plain south of the Tres Castillos Mountains in a battle with Mexican forces led by General Terrazas. The circumstances of his death remained disputed. Mexican forces claimed a marksman's bullet had found its mark, while Apache tradition held that the proud chief had taken his own life rather than face capture. The final chapter of the Apache conflicts in West Texas played out dramatically in the aftermath. 12 warriors, along with women and children, fled toward the Eagle Mountains, perhaps seeking the hidden wealth that might sustain their resistance. After a 3-day chase and multiple skirmishes, the last battle took place in the Sierra Diablo Mountains, where all the Apaches were killed. Peacock, participating in the pursuit, searched among the dead for Juanita, but never found her among the casualties, adding another layer of mystery to the tale. In 1895, a new chapter began when Peacock met Race Compton, a prospector working in the Eagle Mountains. Their chance meeting in Van Horn led to a partnership that would span 15 years, united by their shared obsession with finding the lost cave. The partnership ended only with Peacock's death from lingering pneumonia, but Compton's quest was far from over. Compton continued the search, following a pattern of working just long enough to buy supplies before returning to his hunt. In what would prove to be the final chapter of this tale, he claimed that heavy rains had finally revealed the cave's entrance, with only large rocks remaining as obstacles. He shared detailed location information with a woman named Myrtle Love, 5 miles west of Eagle Springs on the south side of the Old Indian Trail, a full day's ride south from Sierra Blanca and half a day's ride west from Indian Hot Springs. Compton's final journey began with his release from El Paso jail. Given a ride to the city limits, he was last seen hitchhiking towards Sierra Blanca, carrying a canvas sack of dynamite, perhaps planning to blast his way into the cave. But fate had other plans. His body was found by the roadside, his head resting on the sack of explosives, having suffered a fatal heart attack. He was buried as a pauper in Sierra Blanca, taking whatever secrets he had discovered to his grave. Today, Eagle Springs is marked only by a historical marker, the original stage station long since vanished into the desert soil. The area is rarely visited except by deer hunters, lying far from traveled roads and generally inaccessible. But local belief holds that the treasure remains, still hidden in its cave in the Eagle Mountains, waiting for someone to unravel the clues left behind by a young captive and an Apache chief's daughter. Some say the treasure is still there, hidden beneath decades of shifting sand and stone, protected by the same Apache ingenuity that kept it safe for so long. Others believe it's merely another desert myth, born of heat mirages and desperate dreams. But one thing is certain. As long as the Eagle Mountains stand guard over their secrets, the legend of Chief Victorio's treasure will continue to capture imaginations and draw seekers to this remote corner of West Texas, where history and mystery intertwine beneath the scorching southwest sun. Thank you for joining your desert frontiersman Alan for another Southwest Lost Gold tale. Check out my large catalog of Southwest videos and playlists on historical tales, legends, lost gold tales, and adult bedtime stories. Happy trails! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.